Hi, good morning, folks. Let's try it again. Good morning, folks. All right. Woo, let me get a good look. Deshaun, Duell, can you guys come sit up here because I'm going to need you. It's all right. Don't be scared. All right. The boys are back in town. So when I tell you guys to come up, y'all are just going to come and stand right here is where I want you to stand, really. Or maybe just stand in front. Yeah, maybe that'll work. Okay. Okay. I'm turning this back. Okay, wonderful. All right. So I'm going to be talking about a touchy subject. You see it there? What is this? So we can be talking about feelings today. And I want to make it clear that I want you to do as much as you can not to hurt other people's feelings. However, what I'm going to talk to you about is how you shouldn't get your feelings hurt. So did I hurt your feelings? And I'm going to need the boys to help me in just a moment. Y'all ready? Don't worry, we've done it before. Everything's going to be fine. I don't know what she's trying to say. What are you trying to say? Okay, one up and one down. Love that style. All right. Now, we're going to go to the next slide. So this fella here, where's my Bible? Bible? Can I have it? Thank you. So this fellow here, by the name of Noah. I know it's not that clear on the screen there, but we're doing our best. So Noah was building this ark, this big boat. It was 3 levels. It had no windows on the side. It only had a window on the top. It used to let light in. Had different apartments for all the animals that would go in. He was preaching, and he's saying here, the Lord has shown me that a flood is coming, and it's time for you to repent. So he's preaching the sermon, and in this time they had like these beautiful groves where they would have all these fruit trees hanging and so on, and they would have their idols and they were worshiping. They were really lawless. But as he is preaching, there are lots of people and they're saying a lot of things to Noah. So some of them says, you're a fanatic. Some of them said, you've lost your mind. Some of them said, stop wasting your time. Some of them said, this is just another conspiracy to get attention. Some of them said, it never rains. And they were right. It had never rained before. So there were a lot of mockery and abuse heaped on this fellow here as he was preaching his sermons. And he preached his sermons for 120 years. So he was preaching for a long time. And he would say things and he would talk, and these folks here, they would throw all this thing on him, but no, he was like hardcore. He didn't allow any of those people to mess with his feelings. He left his feelings where he had to go, and he kept going. Now, there were a lot of things that were going to be hurtful to this fellow here, because as I understand it, in fact, let's open our Bibles to Genesis chapter 6. Because what happens to this fellow here is rough. You know why? In the time when Noah goes in the flood, and he goes in the flood with 7 other people, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives, nobody else enters into this boat. We're told that as he was preaching, some people believed him, right? But all the people that believed him died. In fact, Methuselah died in the very same year that the flood came. So everybody in this time that died, that had to be that they were what? If you died in the time of Noah, it meant that you were what? Usually. How do people in the time of Noah usually died? Of old age. They look at me in very strange things. But most people in the time of Noah, most of the good people in the time of Noah died from old age. They didn't just die from disease and so on. They were a strong race. Most of them lived, except in the murderous crew where they, would kill people and take their wives and so on. But a great amount of people simply died of old age, and I mean the old age was very old, like 800 something years, 900 something years. But everybody that changed and repented, they were dead. I almost found that hard to believe. So all of the other people, let me underscore all the young people and the younger people, because in this time young was 300. They all were the scoffers and the laughers, and none of them got in the book. Not one of them, like I can't believe not one single one got in this book. Isn't that sad? That's sad. Genesis chapter 6, verse 1. We're going to read from verse 1 all the way to verse 13. This is the only scripture that we're going to read. Otherwise, I'm going to be taking a lot from 1 Corinthians chapter 13. I'll read, you follow. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair. The sons of God were big and beautiful, because we're told that they did not feel the curse as much as the daughters of men. So the sons of God looked beautiful and big. But now it goes, they saw daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. And God saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart were only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. These are generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations. And Noah walked with God. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. So we're just about this time again. We've been preaching for how long? We've been preaching for the Adventist Church. Anybody knows? How long have we been preaching? 177? Y'all can't remember? All right. 100 and something. Somebody's trying to do calculations. 182? 182? We've been preaching for a long time, and of course, there have been the scoffers. You know, it's never going to happen. The earth is not going to be destroyed by any hellfire. There's no heaven. There's, the scoffers. There's lots of scoffers around. Y'all got to be crazy. And then they said Sunday law people, and, what is this? And yeah. So a lot of things are thrown. And the idea here is that Noah remains, and it's very important that you see that Noah remains with his family. I'm going to understress this, because for the earth to be filled with violence, and for men not to care if I kill you and take away your wife because I just like her, and for people to become so gross and vulgar and corrupt, it had to start from family breakdown. It had to start because relationships were dying, and relationships usually die over hurt feelings. It's true. It's all about the feelings. Now, when I was growing up, just a quick little story, I was always very kind of nice. Like in school and stuff, I was nice. I was very kind of soft-hearted. I cry if something bad happens to somebody else. And in primary school, they used to call me Miss Goody Goody Two Shoes. I always used to get along with everybody else, try to be okay. And I remember when I was in Queens College, one day, I was always minding my own business, doing my own thing. And the deputy headmistress decided that I was a bus rider. You all know what a bus rider is? You don't know. So a bus rider is one of those girls that would go in those buses that would be packed up, and she would sit on a guy's lap, and the bus would ride around town. It's getting you to where you got to go, but it's riding. They would play like really, really loud music, and then every time the bus would stop, and it would make this kind of movement like this, because the guy would mashing his brakes every stop, and then they would drive around, and then you would come out. So it was well known that girls that rode those buses were the kind of had some sort of loose morals. So imagine my surprise one day because the assembly, Monday everybody's assembly, and when you were at Queen's College, the assembly was serious. You can't wear certain socks, you don't wear certain shoes, you can't get nothing on your nails, only a stud is allowed in the ear. It was very proper. Not certain hairstyles, everything has to be according to the rules. So I'm there, of course, everything is according to the rules, except I think I had on some boots because I didn't have money to buy the shoes that was appropriate. So mom sent a letter and I was in the boots, the only boots that I had. But once I was standing there, the deputy headmistress declared, and some of you all have been bus riding. It's been reported to me that Latoya Carter is one of them. And I felt like, oh, the earth could open and drop me in there in front of the whole school. She just called my name, bus rider. And then she said further, and I want her to come out here right now. Oh my, Queen's College girls are not supposed to do certain things. Bus riding was one of them. And so, of course, good little me, I walked out there in front of the whole school, where I was told that this kind of behavior will not be sanctioned. Oh my. And of course, poor little me, because I was so thing, I had many hurt feelings and I began to cry. I would always cry. Cry. So I was crying, and then I looked at the teacher and I said no. And then I told my mom. My mom came, my mom said, this lady didn't do this. My daughter didn't. And the lady said, how do you know that? And my mother said, because it never happened. My daughter would tell it if it was so. And the lady said, children lie. My mother said, my daughter. And all I was doing was they were having this tat for tat. I was crying. Hurt feelings. I remember one more time in Queen's College, I think it was Miss Booty. She wanted us to go on march. When it has like the semester, it's the September semester, the sports semester, you have to go on march. It was March call, and they wanted me to go on march. And I don't know, for something happened to me. I think my head was hurting or something. I didn't want to go to march. And Miss Booty said, you have to go and do it. She was not listening to me, and I started crying in the hall. And Jay was there this time. And Jay came, and Jay saw me crying. And he said, what are you crying for? And I said, Miss Booty wants me to go march in the sun. And Jay didn't have so many hurt feelings. At least it didn't seem so to me. My brothers were superheroes. They still are. So he said, who tell you to do this? I said, Miss Booty. He said, let's go see her. I said, what do you mean, let's go to see her? He said, come with me. So he went, and we found Miss Booty in the hall. And when he found Miss Booty in the hall, he said, Miss Booty, my sister will not be going to march anywhere today. And Miss Booty said, what? You'll have to report to the principal's office. My brother said, whatever. She's just not going to march anywhere today. I started smiling right away. I felt so better. My brother was dealing with Miss Booty, and I wasn't going to march anywhere. I was like, yeah. Okay, I tell you that because I had a lot of hurt feelings. I've grown a long time from then. So I'm much better now. Not so much hurt feelings. The reason I'm talking about hurt feelings is because I believe that those people that are easily hurt, that none of them will actually enter into translation. That's just my belief, because I do not believe that they will be able to withstand the coming mockery, the coming hurled insults, the coming troubles that are coming up on this world very quickly. They're not going to be like Noah was. And also I believe that hurt feelings destroys relationships, and I believe that relationships in the church, in family, and in the world are a result of people being overly sensitive. So I wanted to talk about this. Can we move to the next slide? All right, so just before I show you this slide here, can I have the boys come? Come, boys, coming up here. Can they come up here, or should they come this way? Okay, let me put this here. You guys can come over here. They can be seen, right? Good. Please pass the other pink mic in, nothing. You all will just use the mic, right? So that I make sure that I have you all in sound. Good. What's your name? What's your name? Can you all speak a bit louder? Use your inner man voice. What's your name? Put yeah, that too. But put it up. Put up mine. What's your name? And what's your name? All right, good. We're gonna try to use the inner man voice. They're very quiet for those of you that listen. Very silent. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you some honest questions. I know you guys are honest, and I just expect you to tell me the truth. Is that okay? Expectation? Thou shalt not lie. Okay. Y'all are brothers, right? How long have you been brothers? Trick question, but you can still answer it. How long have you been brothers? From birth. That makes sense. All right, good. Have you ever had like any like disagreements between the two of you? Huh?
Yes.
Use mic. Use mic. Give it to your brother if you don't want to answer. He's the big one. He could protect you. Haha. You've had some disagreements, okay? And when you've had those disagreements, has it been about feelings or no? Do you have any feelings? You all have feelings? Huh? Use mic. Use mic. You have some feelings. Okay, so can you tell me of something that he did that could have hurt your feelings? Can he hurt your feelings at all? No, not really. He can't hurt your feelings at all. Okay, give it back to Duel. And speak up. Speak up. They want to hear you. And I'm going to give you the mic too. Um, uh, can he hurt your feelings? Use mic. Use mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he can't hurt your feelings. No. This is on, but this is not. You would have to get the other black one for that. Oh, here you go. Is that good? All right, good. That'll work. Great. All right. So when is the last disagreement that you had? How long ago? This week? Last week? Last time you all were arguing? Fighting? When the last time you all fought? Yesterday. Okay? What was the disagreement about? If it's too embarrassing, you can find one that is not embarrassing.
One of each.
Wow, you dropped the mic. Put them on the spot. Can you share any disagreement that you had? Anyone? Okay, share the disagreement. Anything. Share what something you all were fighting about. Don't worry. I know you love each other and you've forgiven each other, right? That means you reconcile. So you can talk about it freely. Yes. What was the problem?
We're playing a game,
You were playing a game.
and then one of us lost,
One of you lost.
and we got hungry and decided.
And you got angry. Who was the one that lost? Who was the one that lost the game? Who was the one that lost the game? You can't remember who lost the game? Who you remember who lost the game? Who lost the game? Use mine. You lost the game. And when you lost the game, you got angry. Why?
Because I lost.
And when you lost, you felt what?
Vexed.
Huh?
Vexed.
You felt vexed. Why? Do you know why? Why? Do you know? You don't want to tell me, but you know why? You don't really know why. You don't really know why, do you? Okay. So it's because somehow he hurt your feelings. I'm not sure how he did it. Maybe you laughed. Did you laugh when you beat him? Yes. You laughed. You were like, I'm gonna beat you, and you did, and you enjoyed beating him. There you go. And your feelings got hurt. Right. And this is why it's fun. Now, thank you all for being so honest. You're not going anywhere for a while. Just hold a moment. But do you understand that their fight that they had was because of one of them that had hurt feelings? Now, if your feelings had not gotten hurt, then everything would have been fine, right? Right. So the question is, how do we stop having all of these hurt feelings? It's very important that we understand how to do that. It's very important that Duell does that because Duell is just naturally sensitive. He's more sensitive than you, isn't he? Just by nature. So that means you're going to get into more fights, even though you seem like the nice one. Look at his baby face. Look at it. You're actually going to get into more problems because of that nature than he does. Why? The devil will use sensitive souls. Let me say that again. A sensitive soul that's easily injured by someone else is easy prey for the devil. Hurt feelings? The devil says, okay. And he'll manipulate you to your own hurt. So, Duell, this sermon is for you. Listen carefully. All right. Now, hold on a moment. You can go sit down. I will call you up again in a moment, so you can keep the mic. All right. So we've gone to this slide. This is a family, and the family, one brother says, you're always on my case. Dad says, I was just trying to help. He says, you never listen. Familiar? Yes, familiar. There is a problem here because this personality is having hurt feelings. If you're always on my case, no, is that true?
Yeah, that's not true.
No, not really. People are not usually always on your case. No, it's just that in your mind, it seems as if 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I can hear his voice. It's in your head, right? So this person has hurt feelings, and the deeper issue is an issue of pride. Now, I want you to understand that. I'm going to say it real slow. And just in case you all of you think that you don't have hurt feelings or you are not sensitive people, sorry, wrong church. This church has a lot of sensitive people that are easily hurt. And so I want you to understand what I'm saying because it's going to be important for us to get through and become the Noahs of our time. The root cause of hurt feelings is usually pride. Is usually what?
Right.
Duell, what did you hear? Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said? So I'm going to prove to you that the reason you got angry because your brother beat you in the game is because of pride and had it not because you lost. That's a thing, right? So imagine what I just did to you. Look what I just did. Look what I just did. Look what I walked over to you there and I was like, mash your toe. I did. And we have to have our toes mashed constantly. And by the way, whoever stands in this pulpit, they're under divine directive to mash many toes many times. It's just what they do because truth will cut. Did you all understand what I said? I hope so. Now let's develop it further. Stay with me, because we're looking at Noah, and Noah was this very fellow, and we're going to go spirit prophecy. Now, read with me. Go to the next slide. Read with me. Charity doth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil pause, is not easily provoked. Love is not easily provoked. So if you're easily provoked, it means that you lack. Stay with me. Pride is the issue, and it means that you lack. It means that you lack. It means that you lack what? No, I want you all to pay attention. Of all the men that had the most heaping abuses heaped on them ever in the world is Jesus Christ. Jesus never dealt with hurt feelings. You ever saw Jesus like just hurt? I'm so hurt. No. No. Why? I'm going to show you. The heart in which love rules will not be filled with passion or Duell. Did you want to get him back? Revenge. That meant that in that moment, Duell's heart was not filled with The reason I'm using Duel is because he's honest. He's a child. They're still children, and so we can do this with them, hopefully, and they will not get angry with me. I love you to bits, so don't be angry with me. I'm just using you to teach a class. You're teachers of the class. If we understand what's at the bottom of our feelings, then we can stop with all these feelings. Recently here in Guyana, I saw I don't know, one of those people that have a lot of likes and a lot of followers. And he was on there and he's saying, Guyanese really have to stop. When they see you, they say, you get fat, boy, or you get so fat. He said, why these people talk to you like that? You're there in the gym working out, you looking the best that you've looked in a long time. They come and they see you and say, we see you such a long time, boy, but you get fat. I was like, no, I said, let Guyanese continue. You get fat, you look maga. I said, this is a real society with real people who talk to you in a real matter. Because if all of us start getting hurt feelings, then we get a cancel culture where you can't say anything. In fact, you can't even in the States, like when you're looking after people, like when I go there and I look after people, I have to be very careful that I don't say like you're fat. People get offended, tell you to leave. Now they're fat, but you just can't say it. You can't say it that way. You can't say overweight. You can't even say obese, which is the medical term. People say you're being very rude. How has truth become so rude? Because everybody's dealing with feelings. It's so feelings that people on the pulpit stop preaching that the LGBTQ community is actually a sinful one. Because you're going to hurt the people's feelings. And if we hurt all these people's feelings, I guess we're just going to keep going to hell with everybody's feelings feeling good. No, that's going to be a problem. By injuries, so the heart in which love rules will not be filled with passion or revenge. By injuries which pride and self-love would deem unbearable, love is unsuspecting. Now, Duel, this is a challenge for you. You're going to be challenged this morning to do this for Deshaun. Deshaun, you're going to have to do it for your brother because I'm going to prove that you have feelings and he can hurt them. Love is unsuspecting, ever placing the most favorable construction upon the motives and acts of others. So that means that, well, every time you see Deshaun, he's doing something, you just think he's doing it for something good. He's doing it for something right. He's doing something to benefit me. I don't understand it. I might not like it, but it's good. Keep it positive. This will help you out. Love will never needlessly expose the faults of others. It does not listen eagerly to unfavorable reports, but rather seeks to bring to mind some good qualities of the one defamed. This here takes out gossiping. So if when people come and talk to you, you know that one Brother Flagon? I can't believe, I know something about him. He's a very nice guy. No, there's no way I come to tell you. I come to tell you. And he gave a lot of money to the poor. You just keep putting on the positive. With every statement said that is against the person, you keep it positive. Keep it positive because this is the work of love. Now, we're going to the next slide. And before we go to the next slide, this is a doctrinal disagreement. Now, there's a lot of, where's the slide? There's a lot of doctrinal disagreements in the church. If you disagree with me, you must be spiritually compromised, and the other person, you're attacking the truth. And in the Adventist church today, there's a lot of attack, counterattack. Whether you're looking at big ministries, whether it's within the church or within conferences, there's a lot of just attack. And the idea is, how do we deal with disagreements that come up that are doctrinal? I mean, how do we do it? Well, whenever I hear about doctrinal disagreements and I recognize that somebody is in problems with the truth, I remember how the Adventist church was founded. You all remember how the Adventist church was founded? I love the Adventist church. You remember how it was founded? They had people that came from Methodist churches, and they had some people that were Seventh-day Baptists, and they had some people that came from Lutheran churches. And they had a whole bunch of people that believed all sorts of things. They did not all agree. But when they came together, they studied, and they weren't attacking each other, even when they had error. Now, this thing is sometimes lost sight of, And so in the time of Sister White, Uriah Smith, and James White, those guys were going at, by the way, James White, Uriah Smith, and A.T. Jones, they were known to be very temperamental. Very temperamental. And so Sister White said to them, don't take the thing public, y'all take it easy. We're going to study, pray about it. And guys was like, no, I know I'm right. The other one said, I know I'm right too, and I could prove it, book, chapter, and verse. Boom, in the Review and Herald. Sister White was like, Lord have mercy. Why would you throw this all out so the world could see? But there was a lot of hurt feelings. That's why it became like that. It's a lot of hurt feelings because people don't think they're appreciated as they should. And a lot of people don't think a lot of things. There's a lot of thinking about all sorts of thinking about things. Now I'm going to show you another one. This happens a lot. Go to the next slide. Boys, you're coming up in a moment. She saw me. Look at that one over there, Saskia. She saw me, but she didn't even say hi. She just walked past people without even saying hi.
I'm so glad someone.
She just walked past Brother Stephen. Next Sabbath, you go and tell Brother Stephen, Saskia, she just walked past me. She didn't say hi. Brother Stephen should immediately say, Saskia, oh, she's a nice person. It couldn't be that's what happened. Have you spoken to her about it? But instead, these things come. You all think it's true? I'm going to show you, Sister White, that people leave the church. They leave the church because somebody walked past and they say hi. And they were hurt. Can you imagine? Yes, it's true. Some of them, that sermon felt like it was directed at me. The lady she's preaching at me. They hear something. They hear something that went on with Tanya. That's why you're preaching about that this morning. Lord have mercy. Suspicions and assumptions are of the devil. One more before the boys come. Church groups. The next slide. I'm just sharing my thoughts. No, you always act like you know everything. Oh my goodness me. It's a lot. And there's a lot of insecurity, the need to control, need to be appreciated, and a lot of people walking around with a lot of hurt feelings. Hurt feelings, and they can't get along, and people pass by passing people, and they stay away from a chat group, and all sort of problems. And God is like, wow, this is a lot. Why can't these people just take it easy? Why are all these feelings hurt? Now, before we read the other one, come boys. Come on. We're learning today and you're helping me teach class. Okay, so you remember why you got mad at him? You said because you lost. Where's Mike? Give him the mic. There. You said because you lost. We saw that one of the issues was because you were very, it begins with P, R. Yes. Did you know that about yourself? No, you don't even know that about yourself. Don't worry. All of us have the problem. It's not just you. Look, you see all of them? Everybody in the church has that problem. So it's okay. It's a human problem. All right? And when you get passionate and you get vexed, a heart that is filled with vexation and revenge doesn't have love. Wow. Isn't that a thing? So how do we fix it? I want to fix it. All right. You're Duell and you're Deshawn. And you have some needs. You need to be loved, valued, respected. You're a guy. Little guy, big guys, all of them need the same thing. Love, valued, respected, appreciated, and supported. This is what men need all their lives. Even when you come 25, you're going to still need the same thing. And 35, still need. By the time you reach 95, it's the same things you're going to need. He needs the same. Because he's a guy too, right? You sure? You sure he's a guy, right? Yes, he's a guy. All right. Where do you get those things from right now? How old are you? You're 12. Okay, let me dial you back down to 8, 7, 6. Y'all remember when you were 7, 6? Yes, I'm sure you do. Where did you get those things from? Feeling loved, valued, respected, appreciated, supported. Where did you get that from?
Mm.
You don't know. Where did you get it from when you were younger? Your parents. Please use mic. Your parents. It's true. So when you're small, your parents make you feel loved, valued. Your mommy know hug you up all the time, valued, appreciated. We love you, Noel. You're so nice. Okay. So you're getting your needs from your parents. Now, as you grow up, though, now you're 12. How old are you? 14, 12, 14. Now, though, your parents ain't gonna do it for you all. You know that? You know that, right? Yeah, they ain't gonna do it. They can do some things, but you're now walking from childhood and you've gotten into like the path to adulthood. And so you need somebody else to supply those needs. Who you can get to supply? Good answer given, Mike. What he said? God. In fact, God was the one that was supplying it all the time. He was just supplying it through your parents. Now, if you don't get it from God, that means you have to try and get it from somebody else. And if you can't get it from God, who you think you'll be trying to get it from right now? Siblings. Which sibling you trying to get it from most to be respected? Who you want to really like respect you and support you and listen to what you say? Out of all of them. Now, by the way, you should know this, right? You should know this because you can help him on this journey. Now, grab his hand. Yes, your brother is. Grab his hand. Grab each other's hand. You give each other hugs. Now, what's happening with you right now is that right now you're trying to let Deshaun fulfill certain needs that he can't. He can't do it because he is not the source guy. He's in the same place that you're in. He needs somebody to respect him, support him, appreciate him, do all of that. And right now, he wants his own house, isn't that so? Yes. Yes. The family isn't doing it for him anymore either. So right now, he needs the same thing, and you need the same thing. And you can't get what you need from him, and he can't get what he needs from you. And if you try to get it from him, you're going to end up with hurt feelings. Because you're going to be like, you should support me in this, yo. You're supposed to be with me in this. And Deshaun's like, I done my own nights right now, Duel. You got to do what you got to do. And you feel sad. Like, what's wrong with him, right? What's wrong with him? What's wrong with you? So in order to stop feeling that way, you need to let go of his hand and reach your hand up to God and keep it there. I'm serious. Then he could beat you how much he wants. He could laugh at you to death. He could say, do it like I've never beat you. I beat you. He could get up off the game and just dance. And you're going to be just fine. You would look to him like, you know, I'm skipping this, Deshaun. Let me go again. And that would make the relationship better. And guess what? Let me tell you a secret. When you start doing that to him, he'll start to respect you more. Yes. Because that's what love does. Make sense? Makes sense. You can think about it then. You can try it out and tell me how it goes. Go to your seats. I'll call you back in a moment. All right. Now, by the way, all you all do the same thing. Don't look at them like it's just them. All you all. Husbands and wives, siblings, everybody's like hurting. He didn't do this to me. Like, it's all the same. Now, Sister White makes this very clear, and we don't have a long time to go. Don't worry, and it'll be too long. The next slide. Many have a vivid, unsanctified sensitiveness, which keeps them constantly on the alert for some word, some look, or some action, which they can construe as a lack of respect and appreciation. So some people come to church and they're just looking. That one day she don't like me. Like, what? You came and you're on your own business. You might be having a bad day and you look over, and Bradel's coming out. I say, hey, what's going on, Brother Flake? And Brother Flake like, yeah. And you just keep walking that way. Is that a reason for you to take offense? No, you should pray some more prayers. Pray for Brother Flake, and that's always a good thing. But read the rest. All this must be overcome. And then listen to this. Everyone should go forward in the fear of God, doing his best without being troubled by praise or offended by censure. In other words, you should go forward taking it easy. You should not be troubled by praise or offended by censure. So when people tell you, this and I was this, I can't believe she did this, and the boss, I can't believe Pastor this, and some other body and daughter and son and mother, just take it easy. Take it easy. Serving God fervently and learning to place the most favorable interpretation upon whatever in others may seem offensive, because the reason that most people are offensive has nothing to do with you. It is a reflection of their own lives. And I don't know why you're getting involved. But we're people. We have these problems. So the last couple of slides here. Your email sounded cold. I was just being straightforward. You know those people who are like straight shooters? They're like, what do you call them? They tell it, they're sharp, but there's a name you call them. They're,
Honest.
they're honest, but they tell you it just that way, man. They're, I can't remember. There's a word you call, every man Jack? Oh, no. There's a proverbial idea to describe them when they just tell you it so. Some people tell you so, and they're rough and they're rude, and this is not good either. They need change, right? But they tell you it just so rough and rude, and you go like, I don't understand why Sister Pat was so rough with me, and you hurt. You hurt, But how Sister Pat addressed you had nothing to do with you. That's just how Sister Pat addressed everybody. Sister Pat just has a problem addressing people. It's her issues, not yours. But a lot of people take on these issues that other people have, and they be like, I hurt, and then you don't want to go by Sister Pat. Then you side-eye Sister Pat, side-eyeing something, and some people will go now and they will tell other people, Sister Pat, I can't believe how she talked to me. How she talked to me, and then they got another one that's sensitive, and they say, yeah, she do it to me too. Whew. Now, we need to move past that, and we need to give more grace to people that are rude, rough, and unkind, not because rude, rough, and unkind is a good thing, but because we don't have time for hurt feelings. All this hurt feelings is taking away too much from the church. There are too many people with hurt feelings, and they can't do this, and they can't work with somebody. Here's this one. This one is one of those. Go to the next slide. Go to this one. This one happens a lot. Look, I forgot to invite you. You never think about me anymore. So imagine now, Brother Flake, getting married or something, Brother Flake, and then invite Brother Leroy. Brother Leroy's like, I can't believe Brother Flake didn't invite me. He didn't send me an invitation. Everybody else in the church get invited, but Brother Leroy get left out. It must be something wrong with Brother Flake, right? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Instead, just put a favorable. He probably didn't have any more money for the one other person. Keep it positive. Don't get too involved in the hurt feelings. I'm going to have the voice one more time in just a moment. Listen to this. Next slide. We may reasonably be suspicious of those who are always complaining that they are not treated well. You know those? Yes, there are a couple of them. There are some who are always looking out for slights in the family, in the where? They seize upon some unfortunate word that has been spoken and take offense at it. They are sure it was designed to hurt and disparage them. They meet a friend or an acquaintance who is occupied with other matters that he does not have time to visit as they desire, and they take this as a personal affront. but the unrestful, unhappy spirit was in them already, waiting for an excuse to manifest itself. A lot of us take everything personal. Every time somebody says something is an injury, it's like you can't just take it easy. Take it easy. So we need to be able to take it easy. We need to be able to take it easy in our marriages. We need to be able to take it easy in our friendships. We need to be able to take it easy in church. We need to have less of these kind of feelings kind of story. This will actually help us to keep going. It'll make relationships easier. The last quotation for this morning, before I have the boys come up. Even among professing Christians, there are persons who are always on the watch for something at which to take offense. If their friends are absorbed in matters that require their attention and have no time to devote to them, they feel slighted and injured. Their lives are like the gorgeous flowers which possess no fragrance. Much to be preferred is the simple, unpretending blossom that blesses with its sweet odor those who come in contact with it. Now, go to the next slide for me and come, boys. So this is Noah's Ark, and Noah's Ark is on the sea, and there's lightning, and there's thundering, and there's a lot of people that are dying. I know you can't see them, but a lot of people dying in the water. There are animals and people and houses and buildings and so on. Now, this scenario is going to happen again, except it's not going to happen with a flood, but it's going to happen with a fire. And we have to get into the ark. And one of the things that we have to be able to do is get over hurt feelings. And so we're going to go again and try to figure it out. Y'all got your mics? Let me give you this one too, because y'all have such small voices. Let me have this. You can right here. You ready? Okay, good. Now, when children come out of their parents' womb, what happens? Y'all know it's a womb of the parents? When baby comes out, what happens? What's the first thing baby does?
Cry.
They cry? Use mic. This guy don't like the mic. They do what?
Cry.
They cry. When they cry, what do? What do they do when they cry that they weren't doing when they were in the belly?
Breathe.
Breathe. You heard him say it, right? Yeah, he's always a good person to follow. You follow Brother Jay when he gives the answers. It's pretty smart. But use the mic. Use the mic, right? They breathe. Now, in the beginning, and I'm picking on them because these two know this stuff, right? Y'all know your stuff, right? I hope you know your stuff. So in the beginning, easy question. When God made man, he made man from two substances. What were the two substances? The dust of the ground. Say it again.
The dust of the ground and breath of life.
Yes, give it there. Good. The dust of the ground and the breath of life. This makes man, right? Now, when you come into the world, the dust of the ground came from. Where does this come from?
The ground.
Huh?
The ground.
The ground, and the ground is part of the what?
Earth.
Earth. Thank you. The blue land. So the dust needs to take from the earth. Now, what do I mean by that? Your body, in order for it to stay healthy and happy, needs to take from the earth. What's in the earth? Air, minerals, food, temperature, all of that you get from the earth. The breath. So you're the earth. You get what you're taking from the earth? Everything you got to take from the earth. The breath is also called what in Bible? All the while the breath of God was in me and the...
Spirit.
Huh? What do you say?
Spirit.
Spirit, yes. So the breath of God is also the spirit. So your spirit is what? Is breath, yes. So dust of ground plus breath, which is spirit. So your spirit has other needs, all sorts of needs, to be loved, respected, felt secure, happy, appreciated. Those are spirit needs, breath needs, mental needs. You follow me? Yes. Those needs cannot be gotten from the earth. You can't get them from the earth. The earth ain't got a... It doesn't. The earth has on it Duel. And Duel can never love you, respect you, support you, appreciate you the way you should. He can't do it. You know you can't do it? It's not possible. He can't do it for you either. We've established that, right? It's impossible for you all to fill those needs for each other. And your parents can't do it either. No matter how nice they are, they just can't do it anymore. That's just how it is. So now you need to get those needs from
God.
who?
God.
God. Yes. Yes. You get those needs from God. Now, when you get those needs from God, how do you think God supplies those needs? Like, does God give you like one piece of support now, and I'm going to give you another piece of support when you're good? Is that how God is?
No.
No. How does God give you a support, appreciation, respect? How does God give it to you?
Like rain.
Like rain. And when he gives it to you like that, that means that you become, if you were a pot, you become full. Yes. Yes! I love it how you guys give me that. Y'all are following? You become full. Now, when you become full, because now you're full of respect and love and security, you feel, how will you feel when you're full of everything? You're full to brim. Then you're now happy. You're loved, you're secure, you're like, the joy, this is joy. And when you're full, and you're still getting, because God doesn't stop. It's shh. When things are full and the shh is still happening, what happens to it? And when love overflows, what does it do?
Spread.
Spreads, shares. That's beautiful. Y'all think I'm crazy, but that's all right. So all that means is that now, because you're full, you can give to everybody else around you. You become a vessel to give. But where did you take from?
God.
You took from God, and then you give to everybody else. Did you ever give to everybody else to get?
No.
But when you played the other day, you were playing to get. And you weren't only trying to get to win. You wanted to get his respect, his appreciation. He must know, I'm good at this. He must say, yes, Duel, you're really coming up in this. By the way, you should tell him that every now and again. Don't always laugh him to scorn, please. Be nice. But you were actually playing to get. Do you know that? By the way, you all do a lot of things to get. Get from your wife, get from your husband, get from your children, get from your boss, get from your church, get from your pastor. You give to get. You play to get. You're nice to get. Sometimes your sister says, well, are you going to do something, this? And you do it because you want to get. You want to get a hug. You want to get when she's going to do something kind for you. You want to get back, don't you?
Not all the time.
Not all the time, but some of the time. We have to be honest. But if you're full, do you need to get anything? No. So all you become is that you're living only to give. And when you're living only to give, it doesn't matter what the other people do. Because you don't need anything from them. Look, you're free. You're really free then. Completely. Utterly. It doesn't matter what happens to them. They could be falling to death. They could be crying in shambles. They could say, I hate you, Deshaun, I hate your guts. And you look at them and all you do is give. Give. Keep giving. Without any hurt feelings. And you're all good. Doesn't that sound nice? It's a wonderful type of life. Don't you think so? Can you imagine, Duel, how you would be in the house? Can you imagine transformation if you start living like that in your house? So every time your sister sees you, Duel, how you doing? You turn around, I'm doing well, beautifully. It's a wonderful day. Smile. Ding! Duel, can you help me with that? Sure, lovely. I would love to help you with it. But you know, Duel, I'm not going to be able to give you the $500 I usually give you. No problem at all. I don't need that. Everything is well. Duel, can you wash the dishes? I love washing dishes. Your family would say, "Yes, what is going on with it? What has he done? What's occurred?" He's just become a little Jesus. That's all he became. That's all Jesus was like when he was young. You understand what I mean? You sure? Okay. So I'm finishing here because we need to overcome these sensitivities. And I'm going to give you the trick now. You all are going to practice it. So whenever you feel whoever hurts you the most, you all know who's hurt you all the most. You got to know. It's somebody. You got to know who hurts you the most. This is what you're going to practice. So you all can practice it in a game, but it could be anything because y'all are guys. So y'all are just naturally competitive. Guys are naturally competitive. It's just part of what you are. So the next time you're playing a game, but you can do it in a game because the game is wrong. Next time you're going to do a game, before you play the game, you're going to say, Deshaun, let me just pray so I can fill up. And you're going to pray, Lord, please fill me with love. I just want love. I don't want to get angry. I don't want to be anything. I'm not looking for Deshaun for respect. I don't need to win the game. I'm just looking to have fun with my brother. In Jesus' name, amen. And then you're going to go to play the game without wanting anything. You don't even need to win. You think you can do that? He's like looking at me like, that's hard. Yeah. Salvation requires effort. But you're going to try it. And the more you try it, it's the more easier you're going to become. But it's better than that because the more easier it becomes, the closer you all will be. Now, Deshaun Duell can't get on your nerves. It's either your sister, your dad, or your mother. Some one of them hurt your feelings. They can do it, right? Yes. And you have to do the same thing he has to do for you to them. Because you can't get from them what you want. And you can't get it either by yourself. So even if you get the house, which I hope you do, and you live by yourself, you still now get it. Because it can only be gotten from God. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate that. You guys can put down your prices. All right. I hope you all understood. And I hope you all will go ahead when people in the church are rough to you and the pastor don't speak and somebody forget to invite you to something and somebody call up somebody and talk your name and somebody else do something, even if it's wrong and it's evil, like, I can't believe those people are so wicked. You're going to be like, that's all right. God is going to fill me up today. And even to my enemy, I'll be like Stephen to my enemy and say, Lord, lay not this sin to their charge. Because that's how Stephen died. He didn't die with hurt feelings. I can't believe that boy Paul. Boy, look what you doing to me. Some people die like that. That was Stephen. Stephen was like, Lord, lay not this sin to their charge. He was filled. He was filled to dying death, dying breath. And this is how we can forgive truly. This is how we can not have revenge. This is how we can have happier homes, happier families. This is how we can disagree and it not become, one person over that side and the other person over that side. It's how we must come into unity of the faith. We must learn to throw off all of these excessively hurt feelings and this and this and this and move on and forward with being immune to these things. It's going to take practice. Practice it. Find out the person that has the ability to hurt you the most and the person that's really hurt your feelings, make you sad, vexed, angry, you could really step on your toes. And that's the person you're going to practice it with. And the more you practice, the better it will be because faith requires practice. All right. May the Lord bless you. And I hope you all will. Pardon? Oh. Well, the idea of the Noah slide was just this. The Bible says the earth was filled with violence. Violence is an outward act that first happens inwardly. When we hate each other, and we're not talking to each other, and we're vexed, and we allow bitterness, and we want revenge, and it starts by playing a game, and it grows, and we keep that kind of thing, eventually that's how you commit murder. There are lots of people in prison because they stabbed their brother because they were vexed because he didn't bring the cup of tea, and he bring cold tea when I tell him for hot it up, and I tell him for hot it up so much time, and it's cold tea he bring me. Stab the brother's dead. Because violence is but a result of the thought. And a lot of the people that were in the floodwaters were a lot of oversensitive souls. We're told there are two classes of people. If you read this from the Spirit of Prophecy, Volume 1, there were two classes of people in the water. There was a class that when the rain started falling, they start cursing God. I hate God. This is why I said if they could, they would have bring God from off his throne and kill him. And she says Satan was among this class because Satan was somehow pinned to the earth. He couldn't go up in the sky. He couldn't move. He had to be around in this madness. The Lord said, you stay right there, and that's what you had to do. And then she said there was another class in the water. They tried to go to the door and they begged Noah, please, please, let us in. We're so sorry. We're so sorry. And they weren't like just cursing or throwing utterances or getting down bad in the water. But they were sorry too late. There are a lot of overly sensitive people here that allowed other people's behavior to affect their Christianity. And there's going to be a lot of similar people in the fires of hell. And so if we would get into the ark, we need to be like Noah. Noah took all sorts of abuse for 120 years. He didn't get tired. He didn't say, by the 40th year, I know some of y'all would be going fine. The 40th year, these people, these ingrates. I hope the flood, instead of preaching, repent, y'all will turn. I hope the flood swallow all y'all up, especially that one there in the back. But Noah didn't have that. He didn't allow what they said to affect his Christianity. And it wasn't just Noah, it was all his kids. And Noah entered into the ark with his whole family. And they alone were saved. And we have to enter in the ark now. And if we're going to enter in with our family, then we have to put aside all these feelings. And we have to be more practical and more biblical and spiritually grounded. All right, my Lord. May the Lord bless you all.